Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Saturday here in Melbourne. Because let's go up to our friends up in Queensland. We're heading to the Gold Coast in particular, and of course speak with the Ikin Dance crew out there. And of course we've got Ash and Sid joins us right now to tell us a bit about how the year's gone up there. Thanks both for joining us.
Good to be here, man. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No worries. Well, tell us a bit about the year so far in 2021 for the Ikin Dance crew.
Oh, man, it's been nice coming out of what last year was and kind of getting back into some sort of normality. I mean, things are definitely not the way they used to be, but we've all had to adapt. But events are coming back, and a lot of the stuff we do is obviously in live events, and we have a studio so we could get back into classes and do all of that stuff. And it was just nice to kind of slowly see that light at the end of the tunnel and get back to what it sort of was.
Yeah.
Know that this year, I guess it's far better than most of everywhere else around the country. But of course, you've had like snap lockdowns and everything else this year. How's it been like juggling that this year?
Yeah, to be honest, everyone's really adapted quite easily. So, our lockdowns, like you said, have been quite quick and fast, and the kids have jumped online. They're kind of used to it by now. They've been pretty good at responding to things like that and change, which has been really helpful.
I think the whole world went online, which really helped us. That was something that, if we had this conversation 2 years ago and you were like, oh, you're going to be teaching dance online, that just wouldn't be a thing in this industry. Dance is such a physical, experiential thing where you share the space. But now that the market's used to jumping online, when there's a lockdown, it's pretty easy to switch.
Next segue to my next one, Sid, and I need to ask you this. How difficult was it to transfer from doing things in person, like it was, I guess, pre-normal, to all of a sudden have to do things over Zoom? How difficult was that initially when the pandemic started last year?
It's strange at the start. I mean, I love it. I think both Ash and I are performers, and we spent a lot of time in front of the camera, so it just felt like we were on our own mini TV shows every single class. But it's just different because, like I said, dance is that exchange. So when you're in a classroom, you feed up the energy of everyone in the room, and you kind of gauge the vibe off the class based on that energy. And then suddenly not having that energy or having to try to translate that energy through a camera just required thinking about the whole thing differently.
What have you got any like performances or events coming up as we're heading to the summer seasons?
Yeah, so as we come into summer and things are going back for Christmas time, like you get shopping center shows coming back. We have just other festivals and events coming back that just need dance.
We just finished some competitions, so end of year is probably our busiest time, to be honest.
I mentioned about competitions. What competitions did you just complete?
Well, we just had finals for some competitions early in the year that the kids qualified for, which was great. And we just do competition throughout the years. It's been great that we've been able to this year as well, to have the kids back on stage performing. So just finished off them.
And how did that all go?
Yeah, great.
Really
they
good.
all placed. Yeah, so it was successful.
Different restrictions from what we're used to down here in Melbourne. I guess what sort of things can you do at the moment up there in Queensland?
We're pretty much back to normal in terms of our, because we still have there's technically a capacity restriction based on square meterage, but the studios being as large as they are more than cover the size of the classes. So those classes have been fine. The performing at events is kind of changed a little bit in that the performers aren't allowed to do things like engage or interact with the audience physically the way we used to. So that's changed a little bit, but other than that, the general, I guess people just want to be entertained. So it's nice to be back.
Do yourselves or even the dancers miss that interaction with the public?
Yeah, look, like I said, it's different. It's so different from what it was before. And I think it's just a matter of adapting to the way things are now.
This is the new norm.
Yeah.
So but it's nice that we can still perform for people, it was hard when that was all taken away. So it's good to be able to have an audience.
This end of year concert this year is going to be the first time that our studio has been on a stage in a theatre since 2019. So that's so exciting to even get back into that.
Yeah.
Like it's been 2 years. really, to get back into that space.
So how's that preparation for the end of year performance?
Underway, it's around the corner.
All the costumes have arrived, which has been good. So we did all the costume trying on today, and just had to order, get ahead, get ready, and be organized.
Yeah, I think it's just a general buzz of excitement for everyone, just to be back in the theatre, back on the stage, performing again. Feels really good.
So how many weeks to that?
6 weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy that we're talking about like this second half of the year has just flown, and I came and now we're already discussing end of year concerts and next year's plans.
What are the plans for next year, if you don't mind me asking?
Onwards and upwards. Just want to keep building. So at this point, we're just looking at having kind of survived the whole lockdown and been on this side. We're at a place where the community is now. It's a really beautiful place. I love our community, and it's just something that I just want to share with as many people as possible. So looking at building that through the next year.
I guess being based down on the Gold Coast, have you had like difficulties with people, especially obviously with the border restrictions and all that sort of things? Have you had like any problems with that this year?
Touchwood, we haven't too much. We've had teachers that obviously can't come up. We teach a satellite program down in Tweed Heads. So I teach down there, and it's literally on the other side of the border. So much so that when we used to be able to travel back and forth, but there used to be the whole border thing. I'd park on Queensland side and walk across the street to be able to teach at the school. That's how close it was. It was like, it's a part of this community, but unfortunately, because of the state divide, their school started falling under different restrictions and rules to what Queensland did. And so things like that started to affect some of the programs we could run. Yeah.
Is there any of the, the dancers in your crew that we should watch out for the future that we might hopefully see on TV or in theatres or something similar like that?
Oh yeah, we got pocket rockets that are that are kind of coming up. It's wild to see these dancers, and these kids are 8. They're starting to really do some insane stuff at that age. Man, I don't think I could tie my shoelaces at 8. The level they're just getting, and I think it's because they're seeing stuff from around the world.
Yeah, even our teachers are so talented, so they look up to them and hear what they're doing, and they do exciting things. So they've got some good role models to follow.
We've always prided ourselves on having like industry professionals kind of leading the charge as mentors.
Tell us your teachers that you have teaching there at Ikin Dance.
A whole bunch of stuff. And also varied across entertainment platforms generally. You might recognize the amazing Ash from this last season of The Bachelor.
Yes.
On TV, Ash and I actually met on a contract back in 2013. We were working on a cruise ship together. So like traveling the world, working. A lot of our teachers have done varying kind of gigs, cruise ship sort of stuff. Ash is currently a dancer for NBL.
I'll get to that in a moment. I was going to ask about that one. Now, so you just mentioned before, Ash, that obviously you were in The Bachelor recently. I guess how much of weeks did you have to take off so you had to do that?
Yeah, I had to take nearly 3 months off work. So it was a long but yeah, it was something different to dancing. So
So what made you do that?
I guess trying to find love.
Yeah, silly question, wasn't it?
The dance floor and was like, nah, dance floor doesn't work, got to take this to the next level.
Let's talk a bit about the NBL. Now, I'm assuming it's for the Bullets. Am I correct?
Yes, it is the Brisbane Bullets, yes.
How's that preparation going?
Yeah, good. We actually have auditions tomorrow. So for the next season, which is exciting. So we know that it's all a go ahead for next year and it's all in plan. So yeah, that's exciting. So hopefully I'll be able to get back on the squad and do a few more games.
Involved in that as well, Sid?
Not for the Bullets. No, I tried to audition. They just won't. I just don't look as girls in those outfits. So
Now, I guess how surreal was that experience to do that, Ash, last season?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy last season because obviously some games got cut and we had to stop and things like that, but it was great how we were able to finish off the season being back dancing on court and with the crowd as well. So it was nice to be able to start. We had a bit of a break in the middle, but we kept training and then be able to finish off the season on a high.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk a bit about both your dancing journeys. So where did it all start and why did you choose it?
Man, probably just watching Michael Jackson. Hey, that's where
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a hip hop head growing up as a kid. I think every kid watched MJ and Usher. MJ, Usher, and like Justin Timberlake were probably my biggest influences. And then it just spiraled into me loving dancing. Parents were super academic, so it was always go to school. I went to school in Melbourne. I grew up in Melbourne. So yeah, growing up down there, I was just like, go to school, get good grades, get a job, and so the whole plan was to do that. And then my school offered breaking as a school sport. And so the second breaking as part of my curriculum, suddenly I had to tell Mum, like, Mum, I gotta go, they're taking attendance, like that was a game changer for me. Yeah, I would never have thought even back then though that I'd be able to transition to making that a career. It's cool to see though.
I started dancing when I was 2.5. My great grandmother, actually, she was a singer dancer in the family, and she got me into it. We used to sit out the back and sing songs that she would teach me. And yeah, my whole family is into dancing. My cousin owns a dance school and I've taught my cousins and they've taught our other cousins. So yeah, it all goes down the line.
And what would be some highlights throughout both your dancing performing journey so far?
It's really varied.
Yeah.
I have, the funny thing about dancing is that it kind of takes you anywhere. It just in the world of performing is just the people you meet and the experiences you have. I was one of the movement consultants on, I don't know if you've seen Thor, Ragnarok.
Yes. Yeah,
I was a movement consultant on that to teach the aliens how to be aliens, like to get them to move. So it wasn't really a dance gig per se, but to kind of help them get in their bodies and get physical for the roles so they could embody those characters. Dance took me in another direction as well. When down in Melbourne, I used to run an event called City Sessions with my bro down.
Yeah.
And so have you been to a City Sessions, bro? Have you ever seen a City Sessions? I don't know, you would love them.
Yeah.
And so then I started becoming an MC through that. So they needed a man on a mic. I put my hand up, chucked a mic in my hand, and then that world of MCing took me into a completely different direction. When I landed in Gold Coast, the Commonwealth Games were just about to launch here.
That's
right. So things were just 2 years out of the games, and then they launched the mascot, and I put my hand up to be the MC for that, and that landed me a job that took me around the world, and I got to invited to Buckingham Palace to open for the Queen, and got the leaders of the Commonwealth up on their feet jamming and dancing. Would never have thought that would never have ever connected the dots to go from breaking in high school to getting leaders of the free world boogieing.
I think traveling the world, being able to do what you love and see the world. I love to travel and I love to dance, and putting those two things together, it's been amazing. So, everyone is I know a few people kind of like, oh, where can you go with dance? Like, career wise. But yeah, oh my God, I can't even say it.
Job, maybe with job?
Job-wise. Yeah, job-wise, I know some people are a bit hesitant with dance and like the future and the stability of it. But honestly, I've traveled the world and I've given up office jobs, like really good jobs, just to do what I love. And I've been able to do that for years. So yeah, I think just traveling the world.
Sid, I need to ask you this. So when you got the gig to go to London, and especially to Buckingham Palace, firstly, how surreal was it to go to Buckingham Palace in the first place? And did you get a chance to meet the Queen, firstly?
I got to wave at her from a distance. Being allowed in Buckingham Palace, though, was unreal, because I'm obviously, when you go there, you kind of see it from the outside, but then to be allowed within the compound and what was really surreal was kind of the tech run the night before, to be allowed in the compound the night before, to be mic'd up, and just to test the mic. I was beatboxing on the mic inside Buckingham Palace, and I was just like, am I allowed to do this? Like, just, yeah, such a surreal experience.
Being part of the MC before, getting the leaders to, I guess, boogie or dance or something like that, or again, being entertained. How good was it to, sort of, in some ways, sort of be a little bit in control, like be in control of the leaders and the way they do things afterwards?
What I love about dance and through MCing is that everyone can dance, right? Everyone, I know people think they can't, but you chuck a baby in front of music and a baby's going to boogie, like they haven't been taught anything, but they will. So to see adults who have this real perception of how they think the world sees them and how they feel like they have to act, to see those people break that barrier down and just embrace that in a childlike joy and just move and not take themselves so seriously, but even for like 30 seconds, that makes my heart happy. Like, that brings me so much joy.
What does dancing and performing mean to both of you?
It's a good one.
Yeah. For me, it's like I went through a medical issue, and dancing was something that I was like, oh my gosh, I just don't ever want to give it up. And that was such a realization point for me, how much it means to me. It just is my getaway. I don't think about anything. If I'm down or something's on my mind, I can just go to a dance class and I don't think about anything. And I feel so much better coming out. And I feel like it's an outlet for even a lot of kids, if they get bullied at school and things like that, they come to dance and they're just a totally different person. They feel so at home and they love what they do there, and it's just a different environment. And I just feel like we're able to give people opportunities that they don't think that they can get. Just seeing these kids fulfilled and achieving goals that they never thought they could achieve. So I find it really rewarding for me teaching younger kids, because I just see the excitement in their faces and just how happy they can be once, they are dancing. Absolutely.
Like, I feel like that's what dance is for us, or what it's been for you is what it's been for me. I think it's like that for everyone, really. Like, you get into dance because you love the way it feels, rather than how it looks or anything like that. It's just it's a perfect, safe space for creative expression. And I think that's, with that being our backgrounds, that's what we've created at Ikin Dance. Like, the studio is more than just a place people go to dance. We've kind of flipped the script a little bit. Like, people go and they dance or they take a class to try to get confident or try to develop, self-esteem and self-worth, and start to work on those as a side effect of dance. Whereas knowing what those things have done for us, at the studio, we try to inculcate that as the main thing. So what if we teach self-worth, self-esteem, confidence first and foremost, and dance just happens to be the vessel that we do it through?
Are any future ambitions in dance or performing?
Heaps.
Yeah, it's just every day is a new day.
Still don't have my splits, man. So I'm gonna try to get my splits down flat now. Man, I think it's so nice to see us. Having grown up as a dancer and then in this industry, it's really nice. It feels really rewarding to be in a position where we can start to create an industry for other young up and coming dancers as well. So finding opportunities, being able to put dancers front and center, whether it's for, we've got things in the work with music videos or live shows, or just gigs that they probably wouldn't get to experience otherwise. And seeing that same joy that we still feel when we jump up on stage, but seeing that joy for the first time in a kid's eyes is priceless.
And it's funny how important dance has become during COVID, because everyone gets really funny if you can go out but you can't dance, and everyone's just like, what do you mean you can't dance? So it's amazing how many people want to dance, but when you tell someone they can't dance, all they want to do is dance.
Footloose.
Yeah.
And we're all coming.
I guess what would be your advice to people who want to take their journey to dance further, and especially, I guess, to come down and start performing and start dancing at the Ikin Dance?
Yeah, Yeah, I don't think you're ever too old to start dancing. Like our beginner adult classes are full. Like everyone just decides that, like, you know, especially after COVID, when they haven't been able to dance, they just want to dance. And it's such a beautiful thing to see. So we have all ages that come. So I would say you're never too old to start.
Absolutely. Our youngest is 2 and I think our oldest is 83. So if you've got a grooving bone in your body, even if you don't, some of our dancers don't have a grooving bone in their body. Like they want to be there for the music or to kind of find that groove. Just get your butt in a dance class. So much fun.
And how can they contact yourselves to get involved down there?
Online, probably the best way. You can jump, we've got a website, ikindance.com.au, or hit us up on our socials at Ikin Dance on Insta, Facebook, and we've got our number and emails there as well. So anyway, homing pigeons, smoke,
turn up,
whatever you want. Whatever you got, get in touch and come boogie.
Let's finish off with a couple of lighthearted questions as well. Firstly, any embarrassing moments throughout both your dancing journey so far?
I think when I was little, I got left on stage. I think the curtain shut behind me and I was at front just posing. And I got stuck. I did get stuck in a bucket. I was so little that I had to sit in a bucket for Annie and all his legs, and I couldn't get out, and someone had to come and get me.
I used to be, when I was a kid, I used to suffer the worst anxiety. Like if there was a show or anything, week of the show, I would be sick, like fever. It was a running joke in the family. I just remember playing the role of Chicken Little and dressed as a chicken, and my mum was in the wings with a strepsil in one hand and a vomit bucket in the other. I'd say my line, run off, throw up, strepsil in the mouth, water, back on stage as this little chicken. So
where's this chicken costume? That's his future aspiration.
Yeah.
Chicken again.
Any pre-performance superstition or ritual?
I know I don't walk under a ladder.
You don't walk under. That's that a life thing?
No.
I do. I have to. I guess this comes from another embarrassing moment. I have to make sure my flyer's done up. Like it should, but you think. I was in a high school musical playing the role of Scar, and I was like, it feels really cold, like it's breezy. And I looked down, I was like, oh, my zip. And I went to zip it up, and I was in darkness, but then my spotlight came on. And the song, just have to make it part of the choreography. Ever since then, have to. It doesn't matter how many times I've checked, just before the lights go up or curtain goes.
You need just pants
just
with
doing
no
that.
zips.
Yeah. I keep doing it.
I don't think I have any rituals, actually. Yeah, no, I don't think I have anything, really.
Is anyone, in your, crew or even through the teachers that are, into their TikToks, and is any of them TikTok famous?
Well, funny you say that.
Well, we both ended up for a TikTok that I posted that went viral. Then a few of mine have gone viral. Not for dancing.
Yeah, the dance ones never do. It's so
they
weird.
They never do. No, it's more about me being single. So maybe one day someone will like our dancing.
I have to ask, I'm assuming you've done like at least some posting and some dancing, haven't you, on TikTok?
Well, TikTok has become massive through COVID. Like everyone was stuck at home and everyone was suddenly like on this app, and then everyone was dancing. It's been so good for dance. Have you thrown your hat in the ring? Do you have a TikTok?
Nope.
No?
No.
Not yet.
No. Maybe before I come to the Gold Coast next year, maybe we can do what? Maybe you can start.
Maybe that will go viral.
Yeah. That's when it starts.
Getting you on TikTok. That's the viral one.
We'll finish up with this one last one, which is we mentioned about embarrassing. Any funny moments that you've seen or been involved in dance?
Yeah, every show, there's always something, and it's always kind of like fun to muck around with each other. If you know a show well enough to kind of muck around with each other on stage. Like I was doing a set with my crew once, and every time just before we perform, I'd go to the bathroom and be ready to go on stage. And when I'd go, they'd change a section of the dance without telling me. So I'd be and the whole crew would be going one way and I'd be going the other way. And they did that for every single time we performed that show.
I can't think of anything. I mean, I've had there's been costume malfunctions. I remember doing a dance and then we just heard this rip and we turned around and the guy's pants is ripped straight. And it's just lucky he was wearing undies this day because he doesn't normally. We all try to keep a straight face while watching his pants just be ripped. And he had no idea. No idea. And he just kept dancing like normal. But
I've done that we were doing a shopping centre show, and one of the sketches was that I sneak up behind my mate and I dack him, and he was meant to have these funny boxes on.
Oh yeah.
But I grabbed too many layers of clothing and I grabbed the boxes and the pants and I dacked him. Fortunately, at the last minute, he decided he's like, I'm just going to chuck some underwear on just in case. And I was like, nah, man, I'll be fine. We've done this so many times. I haven't done it once. Showtime. Front of it. Shopping centre full of kids.
Yeah.
Oh. It happens.
Yeah.
Showbiz.
Yeah. I'm not even going to ask what the reactions were afterwards. But, well, both of you, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us on this Saturday. And also, we hopefully will be coming up to Queensland and maybe come to your studio to maybe you can teach me some dance moves so I can bring back to Melbourne.
Yes, 100%. Please come through for a boogie. We'd absolutely love that.
Get you on the TikTok.
Done. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
No worries. And that's Ash and Sid there, joins from the Ikin Dance studios there. Of course, we'll put all the details up on how you can get involved and obviously and get in contact with them if you want to be involved in dance. There's more on the Smashboard Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.